New this week from Dark Horse Comics, Dawn Runner #1, written by Ram V, art by Evan Cagle. Dawn Runner is the latest titanic, mech-centric work from prolific comic book writer Ram V and superstar artist Evan Cagle, who honestly steals the show here. You should look him up. I mean, this artwork is just breathtaking. Marvel needs to snag Evan Cagle to be the next Thor artist right now. And let Ram V do his scrap Thor story while we're at it. Dawn Runner takes place in a familiar mech dystopia for fans of the genre. Nearly a century ago, a portal opened in the sky above Central America, where the gargantuan alien species known as the Tetsa first emerged. Their arrival resulted in a devastating apocalyptic war, until the creation of the Iron Kings, piloted mechanical fighters that could finally break through the impenetrable armor of these beasts. While this premise might sound rightfully reminiscent of a few pop culture titles like Attack on Titan and Pacific Rim, I'm happy to report that Ram V has found a great bit of nuance and new ground in a narrative that is primarily entertaining because giant robot fight giant monster. This is only the first issue, but I can already see it becoming one of the best entries into that now classic genre. Alright, let's dive into the issue now with some spoilers. One of the grounding details I find the most fascinating in Dawn Runner is the idea that nations have been dissolved and replaced with 5 corporations, all funding their various iterations of Iron Kings, and the technology necessary for their continued support and innovations for the future. The first member of one of these corporations that we meet is Mr. Andro Lestern, head of the Cordenware Corporation and the face behind the latest model of Iron King, the Dawn Runner. The scene in question also introduces us to a member of the linguistics team who are trying to understand and eventually communicate with the Tetsa aliens. It is made abundantly clear that Mr. Lestern has no interest in communicating with the alien threat, and is more intent on the upkeep of publicity and showmanship for the big mech battles. Of this initial peek behind the curtain and the critical commentary of the seeming necessity of capitalistic greed that would drive a world dependent on scientific corporations for its defense. I feel like a lot of mech-based titles don't dive enough into this dynamic. Innocent human lives being beholden to an inherently inhuman entity like a for-profit corporation. I also like the tease at the idea of possible communication with the Tetsa aliens at some point, which could mean a potential big reveal as to their intentions in the future. The most intriguing aspect of the first issue, though, has to be the titular machine, which Lestern describes as being the first Iron King that is not a separate entity from its pilot. However, in the Dawn Runner's first battle against an alien, we see the pilot and media sensation Anita Marr become struck by a vision of a male pilot searching for his wife and children in the ruins of a city beset by Tetsa alien attack, which culminates in her asking, "Who are you?" To which the machine replies, "I am the Dawn Runner," and Ichiro Anita at the same time. I am very into this sinister idea that this giant mech is actually imbued with the consciousness and maybe even soul of a real soldier, because that just sounds so utilitarian and corporate. I see here it says that you want this mech to have a soul? Can we even do that? I mean, like, ethically? Yeah, you can do that. You know why? Because I fucking said so. Who's gonna stop me? The UN? Not anymore! It's a notion that has even more impact and weight than the typical themes of Is There a Heart in the Machine from titles like Gundam. Dawn Runner is a mysterious, evocative, epic genre action piece that really should be on your radar. I can't wait to see how the story evolves with introductions to new corporations and new stylized pilots and even more alien species. Remember to support your local comic book store and grab Dawn Runner issue #1 out now. Look at how insanely detailed this art is. I am drawn into this world immediately. This image has single-handedly made me want to do a splash pages of the year at the end of the year. Because, oh my god. I love the different outfits of the pilots and this jock-like rivalry. In this image, we're really getting into manga territory, like something out of Blame. And don't sleep on the fight scenes. Holy shit! What are some of your favorite titles in the mech genre? Personally, I'm a diehard fan for Gundam Wing, but I also remember this manga I read when I was a kid called Red Eyes. I have not been able to find it ever since, but it was really good.